Mhm.
Hey guys, my name is Andrew Fanu and this is Max Ma, and today
Hello.
today we'll be talking about the importance of BOD. And BOD stands for biochemical oxygen demand. And so let's get into this. What is BOD anyway? As we all mentioned in class multiple times in exams as well. It measures the amount of oxygen used to degenerate organic molecules such as food waste, bacteria, and lipids through the uses of aerobic biological organisms or chemical reactions. And how does BOD really affect our environment? Is that the basic ideas regarding BOD is that many industrial companies often produces biodegradable organic products that requires a certain amount of oxygen in order to dissolve these. If left alone, these products can cause harmful damages to our environment and especially our aquatic life creature. And Max will continue on to talk about it.
BOD living alone helps the bacteria grow in the water, and it is pretty common in the lake and the rivers. For example, for salmon and the tilapia, these are good typical examples. And based on the research, only 70 to 95% of fish are eaten by the fishes. They lack of nutrition and they don't have enough oxygen to live. Okay, let's see a group of data. Okay, based on the research of agricultural feed composition, we can see that salmon has a large body than the catfish, but the salmon has lost much more gradient in water than catfish do, and they have the same amount of concentration to gain in the gradient in their body. That means salmon is not having enough to feed himself. And based on the second data in the BOD, we can BOD should means the requirement of oxygen in the body, but salmon has the low BOD level than catfish, which is against of the body size. And there's a problem. We need to figure that out.
Right, and I will take over from here. So, in conclusion, what can we do to prevent this? So, Max and I, we both come to the conclusion that it's a process called extrusion. So, we all are familiar with food pellets and how pelleting really works. It's just a very condensed way of putting raw materials and then just drying it up in high heat and high pressure to convert this into these little tiny, tiny food pellets for the fishes. So for extrusion is just a much more sophisticated ways of pelleting that requires a higher level of moisture, heat, and pressure. So this overall process reduces the degradation of food nutrients while increasing the digestibility of the protein and starches in the pellets themselves. And so they are less likely to dissolve in water, as mentioned in table one previously, how nearly around 70-80% of nutrients are lost in the water column itself before being ingested by the fishes. And so an extrusion, of course, much more complicated, means it's more expensive. And then the main disadvantage of it was because of that. And then the main advantages, as you can see, is that less nutrient loss in the water. And so that's what I want to emphasize and just bring awareness of that food industry for fish pellets should incorporate this type of technology into their system. And so that should wrap up what we have today. And thank you for listening to us. Thank you. All right, Max.